Rafael Nadal responded, and the occasion Alex Eala was welcomed as a hero at the whole tennis tournament at the BNP Paribas Open. The world paused to observe. She hadn't even not yet struck a ball in the main draw. She hadn't even touched a match court, but the desert of California was her name is already being chanted. Supporters were carrying selfie sticks over the barriers of practicing court 6 in order to capture an image of a 20-year-old Quezon girl city, Philippines. A girl who only was not even ranked inside the top 100. Here she was, sitting, greeted, honored, and passing through the Indian Wells tennis players' lawn garden while everyone yelled her name like she had previously won the whole competition. How does anything like this work? Even occur? How does a child from the Philippines achieved its 5th Grand Slam? Into her own return home? Remain with us since the tale of Alex Eala's attending the BNP Paribas Open in 2026 is not limited to tennis. It concerns a country, a mentor, a legacy, and an instant that has gone viral for everyone. The appropriate justifications. Now let's return to the starting, because without the start, the arrival is illogical. Quezon City is where Alexandra Eala was born. The Philippines, a nation where basketball is a religion and tennis is an afterthought. Where the majority of families could list each player's preferred basketball squad, but found it difficult to choose on the WTA Tour as a lone Filipino. Tennis was a sport in the Philippines for the favored few. Practiced in a gated clubs, with a small, specialized viewership, it was never a popular sport. It was never going to become a worldwide celebrity. Until it did. Eala began at a young age, demonstrating a gift so uncommon, so pure, and ensuring that it attracted attention of a legendary figure in the sport's past, the Rafa Nadal Spain's Mallorca Academy. Consider that for a moment. Rafael Nadal is among the most decorated tennis champions. A guy with 22 Grand Slam victories in history to his name, saw this girl from the Philippines and declared, "She is here." She was a teenager at the time, traveled across the sea, settled in Spain, and started picking up the game at the foot of magnificence. She flourished. In my junior year, she won 2 Grand Slam doubles in a row. Victories in the Australian Open and the 2020 and 2021 French Open. However, juniors titles, as lovely as they are, have no bearing on the senior tour. The professional game is not the same. Whole beast. Quicker, harsher, and less pardoning. The change from junior prodigy to rival breaks on the WTA Tour more professions than it generates. Eala was aware of this. Nevertheless, she accepted it. The ascent was uncomfortable at times and sluggish. She spent years working their way up to the lowest rung ITF and Challenger tournaments, strengthening her rating 1 point at a time. There were losses that were painful. There were competitions that ended prematurely. However, additionally, there were dazzling, unquestionable indications indicating something unique was constructing. Next, in 2025, at the Miami Open, a wild card that wasn't even meant to be present, she carried out the unimaginable. Easy 8 was defeated by her. She defeated Keys, Madison. Yelena Abenko was defeated by her. She advanced to the WTA semifinals. 1000 as a wild card event. Additionally, when doing therefore became the first female Filipino in history to place in the top 100 worldwide. Not only did the Philippines observe, the Philippines exploded. That run in Miami altered everything. It altered how Eala was seen by everyone. It altered how when Eala saw herself, it triggered a sequence of events that would ultimately land her in California. Desert, rated 31st in the world, strolling not as a visitor entering tennis paradise, but as a star sitting. And this is what makes this moment even more significant. Hold on to observing, because of Nadal's response to all this is something that you must have to listen. Indian Wells, March 2026, California. The BNP Paribas Open, extensively considered the 5th Grand Slam, it is in full force. The air in the desert is warm, the courts are spotless, and the largest in women's tennis, names are starting to appear. By 1. Arena Sabalenka, the number 1. Iviatek, number 2 in the world. Elena Rybakina, the reigning champion, Coco Gauff, Andriva Mira. These are the athletes for which Indian Wells was constructed. These are the brands that offer tickets and control the camera's timing. However, something new was taking place throughout practice. Court number 6. Prior to Alex Eala's performance, only one match prior to her striking in a single ball match, spectators were overflowing the practice court. Not several dozen of spectators and admirers. People were ascending to look over the fences of nearby courts. Others were occupying seats close by simply to observe a training session. Selfie sticks were raised above the throng, frantically attempting to record video of an athlete getting ready for a practice meeting. The own BNP Paribas Open. The scene was documented on the official website, accurately characterizing Eala as one of tennis's most wonderfully messy secrets, who was already a well-known figure in the sport, complementing her captivating charisma, electrifying game, and her fan base's fervor. That kind of wording on an official webpage for the competition is not typical. That is not how they describe each SAT participant. It is only available to those who has truly done something remarkable. Then came the time that went going viral. Following her practice on Monday sessions, 2 of which were separated by a lunchtime, a sizable crowd assembled and screamed Eala's name when she moved over the players' chant as they moved toward the lounge. During a day of training, the actual competition caught the mood in just 5 phrases that circulated on social media. There is a true AYA impact. Indian Wells was visited by Filipino spectators. In action, courtside was interviewed by one fan, made a claim that encapsulated up the phenomena. We only make payments when Alex plays. Not a tennis player in general subscription, rather than a general interest in the WTA Tour. Just while Alex is playing. That every Filipino was covered with a single line. Every sports page, every tennis forum, every the nation's comment section. Due to the statement wasn't made by a single fan. It was a whole community at last having a player of their own on the world's largest phases. Eala herself conversing with. There was a noticeable shift in BNP Paribas Open media by the front desk. All I've ever dreamt of fostering the growth of tennis in the Philippines, she spoke those words. I'm now bringing a whole new audience for tennis worldwide world. Something significant is present in that assertion. She's not only having fun. Tennis. She is constructing something. She is a gateway through which a whole country is strolling through. Here is the layer now. Of the chilling tale. Alex Eala is not only the result of diligence and innate ability. She is the result of a framework. A particular system integrated. A guy who comprehended Mallorca, Spain, superior to nearly everyone in terms of what it takes to ascend from nothing to the summit of the world. Not only did Rafael Nadal at his academy, Eala trains. He served as a mentor her growth during some of the greatest early years of her professional life. Consider regarding the poetry of that. Nadal, a guy he worked at the Rafa throughout his whole career. Building champions at the Nadal Academy, who realized that greatness necessitates selflessness, self-control, and an unshakable bond with the grind. Invested in a young Southeast girl Asia during a period when few anyone she was known outside of the Philippines. And the girl is currently sitting at the BNP Paribas Open, the top-ranked 31, entering Indian Wells as a respectable force in women's tennis, while past competitors who had participated in the same level are still engaged in combat. Through the qualifying stages in order to the same primary attraction. She was given a first circular purchasing. When the word of Eala's Indian Wells viral welcome disseminated, when pictures of crowded chanting fans and practice courts proliferate on social media for tennis, the response from the community of Rafa Nadal Academy was emotional and instantaneous. People who had observed Eala develop from a gifted adolescent in Mallorca to the seated, competent and powerful Indian Wells reacted with the pride that only results from observing someone you sincerely committed to success. Nadal himself, who is currently retired from a career tennis, but closely linked to the academy that bears his name, has closely with Eala's journey. The location of his academy drawing molded the athlete. Crowds like those in California Tennis Paradise's desert, one of the most prominent non-major sport occurrences, symbolizes all of the academy was constructed for production. Not only champions, good players. Players who alter the story of their sport. Players who switch countries. A year ago, Eala was placed 140th globally. Once she wasn't even involved a year ago. in Indian Wells. She was observing from the outside. Additionally, over the course of a year, she had developed into a seated participant in the draw, a Nike brand partner wearing personalized attire to celebrate the national flower of the Philippines, and the topic of feature articles on the official platform of the tournament. That is not a coincidence. The RAF is that the Nadal Academy blueprint is operating precisely as planned. But hold on, the tale was just getting started. As a result, when Eala truly entered the court, what the internet was then thrown into a madness. Stay put. On Saturday, Indian Wells Tennis, March 7, 2026 Garden Stadium 3. Alex Eala, Global 31 enters the court on her behalf. BNP Paribas Open main draw debut versus Diana Yastrika of Ukraine, placed 52nd in the entire planet. This was meant to be a manageable first game. Eala had defeated Ostromska only a few months prior, taking down the Ukrainian 61-62 in the 2025 quarterfinals Eastbourne Open. This opponent was someone she knew. This opponent was someone she had researched. That there was a definite sitting advantage. That the advantage of experience was evident. Nothing was evident throughout this contest. Yastur arrived out with a bang. The Ukrainian, a strong baseliner with a forceful serve and powerful ground strokes, resulting in 8 aces throughout the game and forced Eala to struggle for each and every point. The initial set was a game of chess. Both athletes trading momentum, swapping breaks, neither prepared to budge 1 inch. Eala ultimately closed it out at 75, but there was nothing cozy about it. The Yes Terra had the second set. She broke early, established a cushion, and refused to allow Eala to return, riding her aggressiveness to a 6-4 victory that necessitated a deciding third set. Next, the third configuration, the one that would maintain Filipino on the other hand, supporters stay up beyond midnight. Side of the globe, turned into a masterclass in tennis under pressure. 45 years old, helping to Eala was in danger of losing the match. The audience sensed it. The Filipino devotees who had filled that stadium could sense it. Thousands of fans have returned viewing at home via live broadcasts on their phones during the early hours of the It Was Evident in the morning. This was the moment. Champions are located here. Kept apart from competitors. Eala prevailed in the next 3 games. Ostromska was broken by her to level at 55, maintained to lead 6-5, and then made it through 6 terrifying deuces. In the last match, before to concluding the Ostromska's forehand flew in match 75. 2 hours and 43 minutes is the match time. 7-5, 4-6, 7-5 is the final score. The subsequent fist pump was electric. The audience erupted, and somewhere in the Philippines, millions of individuals who ought to have hours ago, while sleeping, a collective yell. Speaking after the game, Eala the press conference paused to speak directly to those fans. It implies the world to support our community me in this esteemed competition, she stated. For them to put in the effort to remain chilly, stay up late, and encourage me, it truly added to the sentiments and the feelings following the match. Next, she was questioned over the difficulty of performing late at night. And her response was honest and sincere. Eala. Grounded and subtly heroic. I'm done now. It's after midnight, and by the time I'm able to relax and do all of my routines, my adrenaline, I'm not sure when I can get some rest, but this is the life. I'm glad to be here. This is the life. For words, no grievances, no excuses, just thankfulness and silence, trust of someone who is fully aware of where they intend to go. This is what makes everything you've just seen is more than a sports narrative. A year prior, Eala was placed 140th globally. A year ago she wasn't at the 2025 BNP Paribas Open. Throughout this draw, she wasn't a seed. She was not included in the tournament's official webpage. The player wasn't her. Practicing courts in front of a single A game was played. The trip from there until this point, from 140 to 31, from sitting professional to wild card, from unidentified to the face of the Philippines, is a tale of faith in the face of uncertainty, about endurance in the face of urgency, as well as what occurs when a player eventually reaches her level of skill with her time. Additionally, the skill was constantly present. Even in that amazing the run that altered Miami in 2025 everything. Eala wasn't playing above herself. At last, she was performing at the level at which she had been preparing for whole professional life. Overcoming Swiatek wasn't good fortune. It wasn't luck that beat keys. Those wins were the result of years of hard work. At the academy of Rafael Nadal. Many years practices, years of defeats that no one aired, and victories that hardly made an headline. These days, the headlines are everywhere. Nike provided her personalized clothing. She was featured on Vogue Philippines pages. The Paribas Open BNP wrote characteristics of her arrival prior to her played just one game. One fan covered the cost of a subscription to US television only to observe her. A whole country changed their sleep routines to her times for matches. What does it signify for tennis in the Philippines? Everything. Ally, she put it best herself. She is not only winning games. She is introducing a fresh audience for tennis. Every child in the Philippines who observes her as she passes through that Indian players from Wells Lounge to see her name. Every parent who abruptly begins describing the WTA Tour's regulations to their child. Each fan who purchases a subscription to streaming only when Alex plays. That is the legacy that is being created. Now in real time on the difficult courts in the desert of California. And think about this. When she got to Indian Wells in 2026, athletes she previously competed with each other at the same lower-tier challenger competitions. Players like Asma Nanch, Talia Gibson, and Lulu Sunsawang